So welcome, Reverend Michael McMorrow, Reverend Dr. Michael McMorrow, coming to you from the sanctuary here in Granada Hills, California, the North San Fernando Valley. And we're delighted that you're here with us this evening for our Get Real and Heal meditation service. Tonight I'm joined by one of our practitioners, Beverly Scott, and she'll be joining us tonight. So let's just start as we do all of our services here by just taking a deep conscious breath and releasing. And in that release, just allow ourselves to surrender to this moment, this eternal now moment, as we come together for our call to service, which we call lighting the flames of faith. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. That fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this evening. So as Beverly lights the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. The third candle we light for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. The fourth candle we light for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. The fifth candle we light for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. The sixth candle we light for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. The seventh candle we light for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The ninth candle we light for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. The 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here in the sanctuary, within our online community, and of course within our own hearts. And as Beverly lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experience the healing flame of God's eternal love.
I'm thankful, so grateful. I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I surrender. I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I surrender. I trust in God.
Jesus. As we turn within, let's take a deep breath and just be here with Almighty God, the essence of life, my life now. In this space, in this time, in this moment, I am rejuvenated, revived. I'm refreshed. All that is before me is mine to do, and I do it willingly. For there is love, abundant love, guidance, abundant guidance, clarity that comes from within, our inner presence, the Spirit that knows all, that is all. And this presence is available within each and every one of us. And my realization is that infinite wisdom, this energy, almighty presence is my life, my soul, my supply, my fortress, and my high tower. I willingly give myself to this energy so that I can be all that I can be to my brothers and sisters, to my community, to my country. I know this to be true for each and every one, and I'm so grateful for the spiritual truth for all beings. I speak a word for health, for right action, for divine guidance, and above all, for a higher consciousness to receive and be receptive to what is ours to do. I speak my word and release it full of thanksgiving and deep gratitude into law, knowing that it will not return to me void. I stand fast in knowing and acknowledging that there is nothing that I cannot do because of the Spirit that dwells within me. Let us join in together and affirm that blessings are forever transpiring to each and every one of us. And so it is. This evening, I'd like to speak with you about a challenging experience that I had over a couple of weeks. And it's basically due to me just trying to do it all, be all, do all. So then I start feeling a certain way, and I'm like, what am I feeling? I'm feeling body pains. So I say, what is going on? I now know that the first sign of disease, which is disease, it all starts with thought. It's in your mind. So I was carrying a lot of things around, and it showed up in my shoulder, my lower back. So my meditation was this. I began to ask questions of myself. My prayer began, why are you here? And I'm talking to the pain. Why are you being so persistent? What do I need to know more about you so that you can be on your way? What do I need to learn from this experience so that I don't have to repeat it again? This could be anything, but for me, it was doing too much, letting it fester, so it went in my body. So the answers that pain gave me: humility. I need to learn to be open to being served, to receive from others who extend themselves to me with no strings attached. People don't always want anything. Compassion and empathy. I need to hold a deeper sense of caring for myself and others who are in pain and who suffer in ways I never imagined. Appreciation. I need to appreciate what is right with my body and the body of my relationships, and for the simple gift of my life. Gratitude. I need to express my gratitude for my physical training exercise. It is okay to seek help because we cannot do it all alone. Patience. I must be patient as the natural healing process unfolds within my body. Trusting its innate action and wisdom, and being patient with other people courageously living with chronic pain. I definitely understand. Trust and surrender. Be willing to literally let go and let God, and trust the process. And pain is hard, but we can do this. Trust and surrender. Be willing, literally, let go and let God, and trust the process. Balance. Find the balance between being and doing. Become more aware of the choices you make. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say no to people you love. Forgiveness. I forgive myself for inflicting needless guilt, shame, and pain on myself. Forgive yourself. Forgiveness. My affirmation: God life surges through my entire body. My blessings are abundant. And the quote, right where pain seems to operate, the presence of God is. Science of Mind, page 223, paragraph 3. Right where pain seems to operate, the presence of God is. Listen to your bodies. Love, peace, and harmony. I have some announcements, and I'll go through them quickly so that we can have Reverend Mike take us to our very special place. If you need prayer support, you can find a practitioner at cslgh.org. Sunday, dry mouth. July 3rd, we will have breakfast with Reverend Mike at 11:30. It was awesome last time. Awesome. Thank you, Andrea and Reverend Nikki. Practitioners in person at 1. That's practitioners meeting on Sunday. It's in person at 1. Upcoming events, Mommy Special Spar. That's Wednesday, July 6th, in person, 9:30 a.m., facilitated by Reverend Nikki. That sounds like an awesome event. Law of Attraction and Healing Support on Sunday, July 10th at 1 p.m. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you, Beverly. And that actually ties nicely into the reading tonight. Your subject. I have dominion, Holmes writes today. I know that there is a God power at the center of every person's being, a power that knows neither lack nor limitation, nor fear nor sickness, disquietude nor imperfection. But out of my personal experience come the negative suggestions that arise from race consciousness. If I permit them to, they act as a mesmeric or hypnotic power over my imagination. They bring up arguments from every person's experience, declaring that impoverishment and pain must necessarily accompany everyone through life. But I know there is a presence of power, a law within me, irresistibly drawing everything that makes life worthwhile into my experience. I know that friendship, love, riches, health, harmony, and happiness are mine. I know that nothing but good can go out from me. Therefore, the good that I receive is but the completion of a circle, the fulfillment of my desire for all. So I refuse to judge according to appearances, either mental or physical, no matter what the thought says or what the appearance seems to be. There is always a higher power. Upon this power, I rely with absolute confidence that it will never fail me. I have dominion over all apparent evil, which is merely a belief that I no longer indulge in. I repudiate all its claims, cast out every fear accompanying the belief in it, and continuously exercise the dominion that rightfully belongs to me. And so it is from the man himself. This strikes me as, very poignant, given, in after several years of strife and carry on, and then a couple of years of COVID on top of that, and now we have all the dramas playing out in various arenas. There's just so much unhealed stuff in the world. There's so much unhealed stuff within myself. I know that I can't be triggered by any of it unless I have not dealt with it within my own consciousness. And the thing that's interesting about that is even when you know better, right, it still pops up. So the human condition is, I just think we really need to be gentle with ourselves and gentle with each other. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean we're letting each other off the hook or letting ourselves off the hook either, right? But, there's not all boundaries need razor wire and watchtowers, right? That we can be gentle in maintaining our own boundaries, because it is in maintaining our boundaries that helps us keep that equilibrium. And this is where I think meditation practice is invaluable, because through the simple process of sitting, we explore ways to be still when we're not still, right? So sometimes we sit and we go right into meditation time, and bam, 30 minutes goes by, and wow, that was quick, right? And other times we sit and it's just like, oh my God, what time is it now? What time is it now? Right, and a minute goes by, what time is it now? I still got 20 minutes to go, right? And most meditation times are kind of a mix of the two, at least in my experience. As I learn to sit and to explore my inner experience that I'm having in a meditation experience, whether it's, feeling the discomfort within the body and then breathing into that, or even simply just having an itch and resisting the urge to scratch it, right? There's even wisdom in that simple little thing, right? And there's a gift in being able to focus the breath, focus the mind, and to resist impulsive urges that carries over into our everyday experience. And then we often have insights of wisdom where the dots connect, and then we start to see, right? It's like the circle closes and we have a sense of the perfection of it all, And now, to me, those experiences are rather fleeting, but they're attainable. And the other thing that I've learned to do around meditation practice is to come at it without expectations, right? So if if every time we take to the mat, we're coming with this intention of, taking a square and making it a circle, right? Just using that as a metaphor. We're going to be disappointed, and it's not the point of meditation anyway. So really, we're just learning to be with whatever is going on in the moment. Just whatever it is. Busy mind, still mind, pain body. Old stuff comes up. Just observe and release. Observe, release. It's such a simple practice. But as Mr. Goenka says, the mind is a very, very busy place. So I like that Holmes reminds us that, when he takes the time to acknowledge, right? Because there's so much absolutism in religious science. Keep your consciousness straight. Know that there's a greater reality beyond this world of condition, that if we focus our thought until this new spiritual prototype, this new seed thought that we have is anchored in that deep subjective place within, we can change the world of conditions. And also within all of that, with the cultivation of our spiritual practice, there is also, in this field of infinite possibilities of good, that instantaneous demonstration that also happens. And I appreciate that he does point out that the world kind of presses in on all of that. And that and then our task then is to stay focused on knowing that there is one who has all power, is everywhere present, contains all knowledge, and is always active. And as we cultivate our oneness with that, our life moves from, it starts to emerge in the beginning. It begins to emerge out of whatever muck and mire that we find ourselves into, particularly when we're kind of new to the teaching. But then even long-timers, we find ourselves moving from good to greater good. And not because we're striving to get there, but just as a natural demonstration of the way that our practice is unfolding. And that's a great thing to do and to witness. So let's start by meditating tonight, maybe just focusing on cultivating a sense of harmony, of serenity, right? With all the tumult going on outside the doors. Let's just take some time within this nice little crowd, the biggest number of people we've had here in over 2 years. So just maybe even take a moment to acknowledge each other for showing up for each other. All right, so let's just take a deep breath and release. And again, we're just simply following the breath, the movement of the breath in the nostril. We find the mind begins to still. Following the breath. And we scan the body. starting from the feet, the ankles and knees. Just check and see if there's any torquing, any tension. And just breathe into that and feel the release on the exhale. Up the legs into the sit bones, top of the thigh, tummy is relaxed. The back is straight but not tight. So you can tuck your tailbone in a little bit. You'll feel a release in there, and just take a breath and release into that. A straight spine that's free of tension. To the shoulders, the elbows hanging loosely into the hands, and loose tummy. Let's breathe into the heart. A couple exhales just to feel a release in the heart center. Into the throat. Attention to the movement of the breath in the nostril on the exhale. On the next exhale, just allow your face to drop. Of the eyebrows, the crown of the skull, deep breath together and release. So we move into the silence now for about 15 minutes or so. attention gently back into the room, staying with the breath. So imagine with me the eternal flame of love itself right in our heart center. With each in-breath, we are fanning that flame, which grows in radiance and brilliance with each breath. Growing from a flame now to a ball of light in our very heart center, a fire that illuminates rather than consumes, and continues to radiate with each in-breath. At this ball of light, expanding with each in-breath. The same way that you would inflate a balloon. Breathing in the light and love of the divine within the heart center, commingling with the light within, releasing that which is no longer needed, embracing that energetic that is revitalizing the light within the body temple itself, that with each breath continues to expand this light, that in this sanctuary now we're feeling the energetic of light and love of our friends joining us here this evening, staying with the breath at this sanctuary now where people have been praying and meditating in this exact place since the late 70s. This energetic field of light and love now extends even beyond these four walls to those joining us online. And in the spirit, not bound by time or space, that we are joined now in this field of light and love, that we are stepping into this field of infinite possibilities for good. So in this field then, we allow ourselves to, with each breath, feel the energetic of life itself revitalizing us at an atomic level. Every atom, every molecule, every cell, every organ, every bone, every tissue, every neuron is activated and aligning with a pattern of perfection, a vibration, a resonance of pure perfection, restoring the body temple even now to an expression of radiant good health. Breathing into that and feeling that vitality on the release. It is good and very good. We turn our attention now to our mind, knowing that we are open and receptive to new and creative, dynamic ideas, that we are receiving a divine download of solutions to any seeming challenge or problem that may have had us puzzled, even confused, that we are aligning now with that divine living intelligence, that any sense of any kind of fog or confusion is simply lifting, that we take a deep breath and release, and we feel the clarity in this moment for our heart center, that we are just allowing ourselves to be lifted in this moment, knowing that the light and love, the infinite wellspring of love itself, is activated even now by means of our heart center. And so any sense of discord or even trauma, known or unknown, is now aligning and resonating with the infinite heart, the sacred heart of the divine, if you will. That our heart is now that sacred heart, expressing unconditionally as loving kindness and compassion for ourselves, loving kindness and compassion for others. We breathe into that and release. Feel that sense of connection and release, so that now in this nexus of purification, now we're just knowing that in the greater body of our affairs on this earth plane, that everything is aligning as a pattern of perfection, that we see the dots connect, that any sense of anxiousness or anxiety that we may have had here earlier today or through the week, that it's just unwinding now. That there is a beautiful flow to all of it, that we see the law of circulation of love and intelligence making its way through all. We take a deep breath and release that. Feel that sense of knowing that all is well. And so for any other residual stuff, or any cares, concerns, and tensions for the evening, we're just now taking this evening, releasing all of it to that aspect of the mind, of the divine itself, that expression of unconditional love as the law of its own being, that our word, our emotions, our images, our thoughts are resonating within this divine mind. And what returns to us is yes. So again, we take a deep breath. Feel a sense of gratitude and completion in knowing that it's done. So we leave here tonight knowing that we have been shifted and lifted by this meditation experience, that we make our way home safely and in good order, and that as we make our way through the rest of this evening, arriving in time to our beds, as our head hits the pillow, we drift off easily to sleep. Sleeping deeply, restfully, dreaming sweet dreams. We awaken in the morning feeling rested and restored, full of vitality, of vim and vigor and an excitement for the day. So breathing into that, just releasing all of it. Knowing it is done, knowing it is so. Together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. Amen. Nice bit of housekeeping there tonight, eh? So for those of you at home, thanks for joining us. If this is your first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you hit that little bell, you'll get a notification. And you can join us at 10:30 on Sunday morning, where we will be live streaming. We are offering childcare at the second service. We also have a 9 a.m. service if you want to beat the heat. And of course, you're welcome to join us here next Wednesday. Thank you all for joining us tonight. It's nice when there's folks here in the room. And again, for those of you at home, the air conditioning's really good here. So come on and join us. Have a great rest of the week. We'll see you on Sunday. Peace and blessings, and adios.